As we mentioned, to create this sketch, we first need to define the position of the origin. Where to place the origin is something you'll learn through experience, but there are some tips to follow. First, it's best to place the origin on the sketch's symmetry line, such as this line. Second, it's best to place the origin where you want to start creating the sketch. For example, I wouldn't place the origin here if I want to start by drawing this circle. So in this sketch, I place the origin here. I start by drawing a circle with a diameter of 20, and then I begin roughly creating the sketch from this point. I open SolidWorks. I close this sketch project to start from the initial SolidWorks window. I press Ctrl-N and select the Part module. Now here, I select the front plane, and from the pop-up option, I choose the Sketch option to begin creating the sketch on the front plane. From the Sketch toolbar, I select the Circle tool. And then, to start drawing the circle, I place the sketch origin here. To draw the circle, as shown here, there are two different types. The first type is drawn using 2 points, one for the circle's center and another to define its diameter. The second type is drawn using 3 points. The first, second, and third points lie on the circle, and with these 3 points, the circle is fully defined. So I choose the first type to set the circle's center as the origin. My first selection is the origin itself, and the second selection sets the circle's diameter, defined by wherever I left-click. The size of the circle I draw now doesn't matter, so I can set any diameter, like this. I zoom out using the mouse scroll to make the circle smaller. The circle I draw might seem too large, but it doesn't matter as we'll define sketch dimensions in the next step. As I mentioned, from this point, I start creating the sketch roughly. I select the Line tool and, using SolidWorks assistance, I try to start from a point below the origin as indicated by the SolidWorks. Then I roughly draw the sketch, and as mentioned, I utilize SolidWorks assistance. We can see that each line drawn with SolidWorks assistance has its relations highlighted and displayed. Well, to draw this semicircle, I use the Arc tool. So from the Sketch toolbar, I select the Arc tool. The Arc tool offers 3 different types, each with a specific method for creating arcs in the sketch. Here, since I want to use this point and this point, to draw it I use the third type. My first selection is this point. My second selection is this point. And the third selection defines the diameter of the semicircle. So, the first selection, the second selection, and third selection are done this way. Well, in the next step, we ensure the sketch we drew more closely resembles its intended design. First, I need to convert this arc into a semicircle. To achieve this, I need to align this point, the center point, and this point vertically. Then, the center of the semicircle must align with the center of the circle. So I select this point, hold Control on keyboard and select this point as well, and then apply the merge relation. Well, if the sketch becomes disorganized, we can adjust it by repositioning the line segment points. Now, since I'm intentionally drawing the sketch roughly and inaccurately to correct it later, this happens often, but it's primarily for educational purposes. When you gain more experience, you'll draw the sketch much more easily. So I organize the sketch like this. I apply another relation. These two lines need to be equal to each other. I hold Control and apply the equal relation, again in the same way. I even need to make these four lines equal, so I select them and make them equal. These two are equal to each other. And I make this line and this line equal to each other. I move this point again. And since we've applied the equal relations, these two lines are equal in length to each other. Now I'll begin setting the dimensions for the sketch. I set the diameter of 20 and the diameter of 40. So I select the Smart Dimension tool, then select this circle to set a diameter of 20. I select this semicircle again. Here we see the radius is set to 32 for the semicircle, while we previously set a diameter of 40 for the circle. So I left-click here and type 20, meaning a radius of 20 or a diameter of 40. Again, a length of 10, a length of 20, and a length of 50. Length of 10. Length of 20. Length of 50. And a length of 10 millimeters for here. So our sketch is now fully defined, with all dimensions set and the origin placed at the circle's center.